Is this thing on? I feel like I have to take a moment and like reintroduce myself. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is... Anyway, so I am Liata. And this is not my first rodeo on social media. It probably won't be my last. But I'm hoping that this time I can stay consistent. That's the key. Consistency is key. And I am restarting my journey as I enter the last phase of my doctoral program. I don't know how I got here. I really don't. But I'm here, and I can't give up now. I won't give up now. I feel like I want to take you all on the journey with me. And I thought about this for a long time, and I was afraid to do so because I'm going to be completely honest. I am afraid to fail in public. I don't know if it's the Capricorn in me or what, but I am afraid to fail in public. And it is so cringe to say that out loud, but I had to say it because I do go ghost a lot of times. But I feel like I needed something to hold me accountable. And it's funny because I didn't really mention to a lot of people that I was, and I'm clearly getting right into this, but I didn't mention to a lot of people that I was studying for a doctorate, for my PhD, I should say. And the few people that I did mention it to, like, you know, they kind of left me alone about it. But like recently, they're like, hey, what's going on with your journey? How's everything? You still studying for that PhD, right? And I'm like, oh crap, people remember. People remember. And as I'm getting to like my final year, I'm actually getting ready for residency next week, which I plan on taking you guys on that journey with me. And listen, don't knock me if my footage is not the best because I really don't know what I'm doing. But I'm gonna try. But I wanted to restart like my social media because I really wanted something to look back on. Like, yeah, pictures are great, but I feel like the visuals and just like talking myself through it is really going to help me. But let me tell y'all one thing I'm not going to do. I'm not going to be crying on Beyonce's internet. I am so sorry. I will cut this camera off. I will cry my tears. I will collect myself. And then I'll come back. I cannot cry on Beyonce's internet. I'm so sorry. Again, I'm afraid to fail in public, y'all. So do with that information as you may. This is just me starting over, me doing all the things that I need to do in order to get to where I want to be. I have to say that I am very happy with where I am today, but I know there's so much more in store. So just follow along. We're going to be here for a while. I do have a couple of questions here that I am going to answer so you guys can get to know me. I am Liata, and I'm from New York City. I created this channel just to have a journal of my experience as I don't want to say wrapping up my doctoral program because I have a whole year and I didn't even start writing my dissertation yet. But as I am going into my residency program, I've realized that I just want some things to look back on. So I am creating this channel for people that will possibly be in my shoes or, you know, just need to come and see someone that did it with all the things that they have going on. I am a wife. I'm a mom. I have a very demanding 9-to-5 job. I am a people leader. I'm a sister. I'm a daughter. I'm a best friend. You know, I wear all the titles, but I feel like I don't let my titles stop me from doing the things that I want to do. Because it's easy to always say like, yeah, I have kids and I have to do this and I have to do that and I can't do this for myself. And I didn't want to be that person. When people ask me like, how do you do it? What that guy said?
I'm very tired all the time.
I'm literally tired all the time. But it's okay. It's okay because I've learned boundaries and we can talk about boundaries. And although It's hard to set boundaries, but you have to do it. I feel like having boundaries in place actually helps me to do the things that I want to do. So, yes, I wear multiple hats, but I always stay true to myself. A little bit of everything. It might be random day in my lives. I will say I really don't share my family on social media. Like even my private Instagram page. There's like 4 pictures of me, and I get it. Like we're not celebrities, and you don't have to be a celebrity. Let me say this. You do not have to be a celebrity to hide your child from social media, okay? You do not. But anyway, I keep my family off of social media. I just feel like those things are private. I do not have a traditional journey. I started and stopped college 1,001 times. I'll tell you that. So, if you are in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, and you're like, I can't do this again. I tried it and it didn't work for me. Give it a shot again. I promise you. Just, I mean, I don't want to say just do it because school is expensive and, student loans these days. Let's not be political, but yeah. I wouldn't say to just keep trying until you get it, but I do want you to try until you get it right because that's my story. That's my testimony. Straight out of high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know much of anything. My first choice of college, I didn't get accepted into because I didn't take the SAT on time. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm still here, still thriving, still successful. What I did want to do actually is go to cosmetology school. And my parents, and shout out to my parents because they've always been supportive, but my parents always wanted the best for me and they didn't see a future in the beauty industry. They didn't want me to try it. And I remember like not being satisfied until I tried it. So like I went to school for different things. And then when I finally turned, I want to say 23, I actually went to beauty school on my own. I was like, well, I'm an independent student now. I could try this on my own. And I tried it. And I loved it. I was so happy. I went to beauty school in the morning. Then I worked at night. So I had like a full schedule. I really enjoyed it. And I remember saying to myself, like, oh, this is it. Just starting out, like, it was really, really amazing. It opened a lot of doors for me. And I was so happy doing it. But what I realized very quickly is that beauty has a peak in a off-peak season. And I didn't really know that before. I just thought like if you hustled and you did everything, you would make it in the beauty industry. And I remember working my night job and actually quitting because I was ready to go full throttle, y'all. I was just like, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm successful. My name is already ringing bells on Madison Ave. Like, this is amazing. And I quit my job when it was off-peak season. So I went from double the money to no money, y'all. And I was just like, what do I do now? I had to go back to work. The thing about me, though, it's like it only takes one time for me to like, this is probably a bad thing too, but it takes one time for me to fail to be like, oh, I'm not letting that happen again, right? And I say it's probably a bad thing because I don't fail until exhaustion. I'm like, I have to pivot. I have to do something else. What else can I do? And beauty is great, but it's not for my lifestyle because I can't do the back and forth. I can't do the highs, the lows. That's not. And back then, like, you didn't have all the information for the beauty industry that you have now, right? Like, there's so many different avenues that you can go through, and people are willing to share information where it wasn't like that before. Like, everything was so hush. You wanted a piece of information, you had to pay money for it. And I just told y'all I didn't have no money. So I was not able to really go full throttle. And I remember thinking to myself, like, well, what else is it that I want to do? And I didn't know. But I knew one thing. I did not want to be 60 years old behind a chair. So what was I going to do to make sure that didn't happen? I had to go back to school. And thinking about the experience that I had, I remember that I did not like working because all of my experience was in retail. I did not like working in retail. I didn't like it. I didn't like the long hours. I didn't like customer service. Because y'all people in retail stores, y'all really be trying it with people. But anyway, that's not what I wanted to do. So I learned about human resources. And I remember saying, like, I want to work human resources for L'Oreal. That's what I want to do. That's how I'm going to tie beauty and business together. And I remember that I had to go to school. I needed a degree if I wanted to work in human resources. And my first step was to get an associate's degree because I realized with me, I need like a win. I need a short term win, right? So for me, my short term win was an associate's degree. Like, let me get this degree in 2 years, I'll graduate. Like, I cannot wrap my head around doing a bachelor's for 4 years, having to wait 4 years for a degree. And I always said, if something happened, at least I have that associate's, right? Like, it's 2 years. It's not like I joined a 4-year program, God forbid something happens, and then I don't get my degree. This is a 2-year degree. I can stick it out for 2 years. So that's what I started doing. I started doing my degrees in like spurts. So I did my associate's degree. And I remember working on my associate's degree and looking at jobs that were out there and looking at HR jobs, I should say, looking at HR jobs that was out there. And I remember saying to myself, like, I have this experience. It's not necessarily an HR job, but I have this experience, right? So then we start talking about transferable skills, looking at that and being like, well, if I did this, this can apply to this. So anyway, I tailored my resume and I remember it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. It's because I had a bad experience at the job that I was at. I was like, I really cannot do this retail life anymore. And I applied for a job and I was like, I ain't going to get this job. Wow. Long story short, I got the job and I was so happy. But I remember starting that job and being like, I don't want to lose this freedom. I don't want to lose the opportunity to be in this environment. So what do I need to do? And at that time, I realized I had to stay consistent in school. My education was the thing that was going to help me keep being in that space, whether it was that job, that organization, or another. I knew it was my education. So I stuck through it. And then I had an itch for more. And it was so beautiful because after I graduated with my associates, I actually got promoted. And it wasn't because of the degree per se, but it was the experience that I had gained and that showed that I can, be trusted in a leadership capacity. And needless to say, I got my bachelor's. And then once I finished my bachelor's, I got promoted again. I got my master's and I got promoted again. And it really, really just like aligned. And throughout that entire time, I still tried to push beauty. Beauty is my thing. I love beauty. I always wanted to do beauty ever since I was younger, and I really tried to push it. But I really had to sit with myself and be honest and say, yes, you love beauty, but is beauty providing you the life that you want? And that was hard to sit with because I always feel like if you want anything, if you apply your mind to it, you can do it. But in that moment, I had to be very, very transparent with myself and say, no, it's not. Right? Like this, I don't want to say freedom because, you still work for an organization, but the level of freedom that you have in this space and the work that you're doing now is different than being in the beauty industry. The beauty industry, a lot of times you have to work weekends, you have to work nights. All the things that I said I didn't want to do is what I would have to do in the beauty industry. And I love it, but I had to learn that just because you love something does not mean that it has to be a revenue stream. It can just be a passion project. It can be something that you hold sacred to yourself. I love helping my friends, like going into Sephora, MAC, Ulta, all the stores. Friends choose their makeup, doing that. And, a lot of times people will say to you like, oh, you'll be great at this. You can do this full time. Yeah, but is that your true calling or is it just a passion project? And the problem is every time we try to turn our passion projects into revenue streams, we burn out and then we end up hating it because that happened to me for so long. People would want me to do things that I didn't want to do. No, I don't want to color your hair 10 colors. No, I don't want to make you 5 wigs in 1 week. No, I don't want to do your makeup for you to go to the store. Like, I don't want to do that. You have to have boundaries. And I didn't have boundaries because I was just trying to do it all because, like I said, I was trying to make a living in the beauty industry. But I realized that every time I don't want to say every time I got called to the beauty industry, but every time I went to that way, I feel like God pulled me in a different direction, which kind of got me to this PhD journey now. Um, how did I end up here? I have an issue with leaving things on the table, right? So knowing that there was another degree out there and that I wasn't going for it just didn't sit right with me. I wanted to be in academia. I do want to be a professor. Also, I want to do the research. I want to research. I want to understand leadership better. I did not say this, but my PhD is in industrial and organizational psychology. So, really understanding workplace behavior, I've realized that leadership, like whether it's developing leadership, understanding leadership, that's really where my wheelhouse is. All of my experience over the 10 years in human resources has led me to want to study for my PhD. I'm excited about it. So I really feel like I need to be held accountable, and this is a way for me to be held accountable. This is why I'm starting this journey, to talk a little bit more about my experience, to inspire people that feel like they can't do it, because you absolutely can do it. You can do it. There's nothing stopping you. There's a will. There's a way. As long as you want to do something, you can definitely do it. So, and we can talk more about like what industrial and organizational psychology is. We can talk more about boundaries. We can talk more about what to do for your career. Like, those things really excite me because that gets people to where they want to be. Whether it's in beauty, whether it's in business, whether it's in education, whatever it is, like, I feel like those things really get people to where they want to be. And I just want to be that voice for people. Know if I could do it, you could do it. We could talk about backgrounds, we could talk about all the things, but just know that if I can do it, you can do it. So thank you for stopping by. I know this video was all over the place, but I really wanted to challenge myself to put my first video out because I just got the camera, and I feel like if I just sit here with it and I try to like prepare, I will never do it, because that's what happens to me all the time. So yes, we will have more organized videos as we go along, but I really felt the need to like just get out there and explain a little bit about me. So until next time, bye y'all.